Dear boomers, I am a childless dog lady. I can't think of anything more exciting to have dogs as my companions. However, the Republicans would like you to believe that women with stepchildren are not really parents, are not really mothers, that the children don't look up to us as much as a biological child, or maybe the Republicans don't believe that an adopted child is really your child. And but in this case, my dogs are not my children. They have their own um, path to take. And as I have told before on these videos, that the dogs were a very instrumental part of my life as a hippie, going um, we were traveling by a van throughout the country of America, went to Canada, crossed Canada, until we were busted for marijuana and put into jail. The one dog, whose name was Boopy, hid in the woods. We had 10 dogs with us, 10. Boopy was wise enough to hide. The other dogs were carted away into a pound. So we were in jail, and I was worried about the dogs all night long. What were they going to do to the dogs? It was really sad to be so frightened. Well, I knew that we could go to jail for the rest of our lives, and the dogs would have to find other homes. The reason we could have gone to jail for the rest of our lives is because they only found one marijuana cigarette, so it was doubtful that if that was the only thing they found, that we would have to, stay around too much longer and before we were deported. But what happened was there was large quantities of marijuana in the panels of the van that we were riding in and actually living in. And so those, we wondered what was going to happen because really, I figured they were going to tear everything apart and find those things. Plus, there was orange sunshine LSD up there too. Anyway, Matt Dix was on my show last week. I don't think I would have talked about the orange sunshine LSD if he hadn't recommended that all parts of the story should be told. Anyway, it was a long night in the prison. Our comrades were all in prison. Everybody was terrified. We had to, pull it together, but inwardly we were terrified. Until the next day we came out of jail, and the head mounted police was there, and he had bandages on his arm. And we're kind of like, what's going on here? He had started the search after taking all the dogs to the pound, except one, Boopy. He was going through the truck, the panels, when this little dog, Boopy, the Beagle, German Shepherd, Labrador Retriever, very, very small little girl, maybe about 20 pounds, came out of the woods. It was her home. She thought that van was her home. She was protecting her territory. She tore into his arm, and he had to go into town for medical help. He could have killed that dog, our dear little Boop, but he had been training German Shepherd dogs, so he did not kill Boopy because he knew she was protecting her territory. Then she went running out, and she went running away into the woods again because she must have known what she did was serious, potentially lethal to her. He told us this story, and we were like, oh no. And I just, oh no, but oh yes. Oh no, but oh yes. Because Deus Ex Machina saved us from the claws of jail for many, many years. They deported us after a week. We had to go to a courtroom, and all the officials had white wigs on, and then we went over the border to live in San Francisco for a while. Now, dogs and cats. A cat lady, childless cat lady, childless dog lady is actually an insensitive remark about women. Women are women whether they have children or not. Although it's wonderful to have children, and my career became little babies and also pediatrics for a number of years. And the pediatric part of my practice was trying to save children from the clutches of abusive parents, abusive relatives. That was not a very happy job, but I wanted to help them get away from these people. But as my mentor at the time said, we are not here to save anybody, but we are here to get to the truth. So I am a childless dog lady, and I love my dogs, Little Pearl and Maso. Maso, the mascot of my business. I just came back from about an 8-mile walk, and the dogs. Now Pearl can't walk in this heat, but Maso is now probably going to be sleeping for the next 2 days because he's a little guy. The heat kind of gets to him, and and when he is hot, he turns bright red. His little muzzle becomes bright red, his eyes become bright red, or when he's upset, when he got his nails clipped, his whole body turned bright blood red. But I was told beforehand that was the way, that's what happens with Boston Terriers. So let's think about this. Childless dog and cat ladies. I think that in this day and age, in the 21st century, men and women need to have a truce with each other. There's nothing wrong with men loving women, or men loving men, or women loving women, or women loving men. And as long as these relationships are mutually respectful, and to start in an age when abortion has been taken, or my body's autonomy has been robbed from me and my fellow women, at an age when our freedoms, as crucial as the freedom of my body is my body, to take my sacred body and act like it's not my body, it's the government's body, or it's the politician's body, or law enforcement, the law enforcement body, taking away my right to choose contraception. Well, I don't need any of that. But I am here for the women who are at risk for these policies that are disrespectful and actually, I would say, lethal to women. It's not a simple matter, this whole thing. This is not simple. Pregnancy is not just pregnancy. You get pregnant and then you have a pregnancy and then you have a baby. It's not the way it is often, and it can be lots of times the baby is not compatible with life. And in these new laws that the politicians have put up, the women can't do what's right for her body because the politicians are making these women keep the pregnancy. And then a lot of them get blood diseases, and a lot of these women are saved from the jaws of death or else they die. The baby is not compatible with life and is already not alive. So as a nurse practitioner and a nurse for many, many years, I was there for the women and worked at Planned Parenthood. Our main job was to make sure that people took their birth control and understood how to take it, and we would educate women. If they were pregnant and they wanted an abortion, we would help them get an abortion. That was their business. It's their body. And it's not the politician's business. It is primarily the woman's primary primarily it's the woman's choice, but if she wants to discuss it with her priest, her minister, her husband, or wife, she should be allowed to do that. So, yeah, a motherless dog woman. I will say that the dogs have given me more purpose, more camaraderie, more love than almost certainly any politician, certainly any law enforcement person, and certainly more than any judge. We have to love ourselves, that's for sure. But this whole idea that women have to be controlled by men, by politicians, by the government, no, 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 no. Check out the next video.